just a little introduction about me. Thank you, Fatma, for the beautiful introduction, the long introductions. And just a little bit about myself. I co-founded RIYO, and I was part of the board when we first started 2 years ago. So this month marked exactly 2 years of me being a director position. So I'm fairly new to this position, and I graduated with BSW 3 years ago at UNI. So yeah, I'm a UNI alumni. And then I've been doing or supporting in a role of supporting refugee and immigrants community for more than 10 years since I was in high school. So that's a lot of experience I gained and a lot of community I've met through. Um, Here, let me see. Through years of experience being the supporter of the community. We do a lot of direct service, so that means like we help people with reaching out to the healthcare provider, like the healthcare system, applying for benefit, like the government, the public benefit, just those simple things that you can find in your community. Those simple things may be simple to others, but in a community where there's a lot of barriers and challenges, especially with the language barriers, it's a lot more challenging. So, being in that role really helps me learn a lot of resources here, being able to connect with different people, different community, different provider in Waterloo area. So, I have a I have many experience in that field, as well as yeah, I've done a national service term called AmeriCorps program, and I've done 2 years with the Embark organization and one with Hauga Community College when they first started. And then I came to United States when I was 10 years old. So English is a language that I'm learning as I go to school, and it's come easier for me as I was younger. But it was really challenging for my parents to learn English here and start working right away, and didn't or older adults in the community since they didn't have the chance to go to school. So now they're struggling to find the resources that they need. So I'm just kind of playing the sister, daughter, mother's role as I'm part of the leaders in my community and other community as well. With that being said, we can go ahead and get started with our learning objective today. I'm really excited to come here and be invited to come here and talk to you guys about RIYO and what we do here at RIYO. And so our learning objective today is just learning about what RIYO do, and how RIYO come about, and then how you can think about what other, as you're going into your, what do you call it, student teaching, or as you're going into your career field, how can you consider CBOs like RIYO to help your classroom or your students in your classroom. And then the third objective is like explore ways to empower youth to lead welcoming initiative. And so how can students in your classroom become a leader in your classroom? So let's go ahead with the first objective. So RIYO stands for Refugee and Immigrant Youth Organization, and we've started to form this organizations when Embark is no longer here. So Embark stands for ethnic, minority. So they supported the Burma community. So there's a lot of Burmese community here in Iowa. So they started this organizations, and one of their office located in Waterloo. And I was part of the youth program when their organization was here, and so it really is closer to my heart to have the youth programming continue. So once the Embark is no longer open, their office here, they still have it in Des Moines right now, but they no longer have office here in Waterloo. So we didn't want to just completely let go of everything that has been already built upon for 10 years. So instead of letting go of everything, the former member of the youth programming, the AmeriCorps member that I used to work with, Embark, and some of the staff. So we just come together and just brainstorming of like, how do we want to go about it? Do we really want to let go of this, amazing opportunity for kids? So we decided to, even though we're not able to completely take over what Embark has done, like they do a lot of programming. So um, even though we're not able to completely like take over everything, we want to make sure we continue the youth organization, the youth programming part. So we took the youth programming and then we just turned it into our own 501c3 organization. So we are now our own nonprofit organization, and our main focus is the leadership for the youth in Waterloo community. So a lot of our partners are um, our local partners, our university, college, and the local school here in Waterloo. And I will talk a little bit more about that as we um, go through the slide. Yeah, our mission is really simple here at RIYO. We just want to create um, a really safe space and a sense of belonging for uh, students from different background. We just want to make sure they come together, they learn from each other, and they're safe. So our mission is really simple, and our values are really the connecting part of being together, learning confidence, leadership, and really inclusive of everyone from different background. So I'm saying this is because when Embark was here, they're more. Um, oh, oh, shoot! You guys are not able to see the slide.
We saw the first one, but I heard you click and nothing changed on our end.
Oh, okay. Let me try that again. Yeah, I've been through a couple slides. Can you see the mission value slide?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so when Embark was here, it was mainly focusing on the Burmese community and like the Burmese students, since that was a lot of Burmese newly arrived at the time that the programming happening. And so now when we start our own organizations under the RIO, we want to be inclusive of every diverse background, culture. So that's why we call it the Refugee and Immigrants Youth Organization. Um, just a little bit background on that. And then can you guys see the next slide, the Rio How now? Or are you still frozen? Okay, sounds good.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Thank you,
Okay.
Joanna.
All right, so Rio How is really important to every meeting we go to when we try to build our partnership. So um, when we see the needs of sense of belonging, when we see the needs for students to feel the sense of welcoming to their schools or in their space, we bring Real How to our partnership meetings so that our partners are aware of what we're looking for in partnership, and just to make sure we are on the same page when we are for these students, this group of students in their where they're at. So when we go to the meeting, we want to make sure we make sure we bring this so that we can be on the same page as our partners. So some of these are like small group or one-on-one time, which is really important for students that is learning or in like a new space, new environment. We want to have like a consistency of support for the students. So oh, the slides are not in presentation mode. Is this how I do it? Okay, thank you. um, so just to practice their English, to improve their English and stuff like that. So we like to work in small group and or one-on-one if possible, if we have enough support. And then the second is visual are important. So a lot of the students that don't speak the language are really visual learners. I know that is true for myself because when I first started learning English, I like to see picture. I like to know what it is. That's how I learned. So a lot of the time we provide a lot of visual when we do activities with the students and to be more like interactive kind of environments and not just having like a speaker come in and just do like a bunch of um, like talking points, which is not really helpful for our students. And then this one is simplified terms. It's really important to not have like big words in our presentations because students might not understand a word and then they will probably miss what the meaning or like what the message of the presentation is, or yeah, the learning cues. And then follow along hands-on activities are really important. We most of our activities we do are mostly hands-on and not really just like sitting in their desk and then just taking notes. So we really value the activities. So whenever we have partners come in, we want to make sure they bring in hands-on activities. We want to make sure that students are able to see and learn and also like able to follow along with the hands-on activities. Also, like real life examples. We love to hear students share their life story, their journey, but they're also like to hear from us, like how do we go about, when we encounter certain challenge, how do we overcome it? So a lot of students like to hear from us as well. So I think this is also important to include when you bring in the activities for the kids. Just share your example. How will you do it? That kind of thing. And fun is also really like hands-on activities really bring in the fun for the students, and so they're learning as they're having fun. So that's all we're all about. Since all of our students are really young, like for example, like our programming, a lot of them are in middle school age, so they love having to do stuff. We always leave room for discussion, so giving space to just kind of go over what we learned today, what they learned today, and what their takeaways are. That really just bring everybody together and sharing like what they're learning for the day. And then need assessment is really important for our um, programming because we just don't want to do things because we just don't want to be like we're doing things just because we want to do it. We're doing things because it's a need and we see that it's important for the students learning and to be in the learning environment. So we always collect survey feedback from not only our partners, not our teacher, but also the students. And this is also really big representation. So we have representation. So we think it's really important to have representation on our team so that it can reflect the students that we serve. So whenever we do, when we are recruiting for a AmeriCorps member, we try to make sure we have Spanish-speaking person on our team, make sure Marshallese persons are on our team, Burmese, and Congolese. Those, we might not hit every representation, but we're trying our best to representative of the students we serve. So that is RIYO How, and this is what we bring to every meeting that we have with our partnership, so they're aware of like what we're looking for. And these are AmeriCorps member. Well, Remo picture is not on here for some reason, but yes, we have 4 AmeriCorps member. Sela is youth navigator leadership coordinator. Mari and David is leading the newcomer program and after school program, and then Remo is leading the kids club program. So they're all co-leading a lot of these programs together since we are a small team. And right now, I'm kind of like the only full-time staff. So just kind of managing the AmeriCorps member to kind of help lead all the programming. Oh, there she is. So a lot of our supports or that help build RIYO is through our volunteer supports. So we are a small team, but we have a lot of amazing volunteers that have helped us run this program. And then we have curriculum hands-on leaders also. So those are like our partnership with UNI TESOL, UNI Literacy, the physical education's department. So we have a lot of leadership and partnership with UNI departments, and then they help us create these curriculum, and so that we can bring that into our school and building our team. So we are trying to we have a couple more upcoming summer position that we are looking for an AmeriCorps member to help with the summer programming. So we are still building our team and then our community partners. So we have UNI, we have Hawkeye, we have other small community partners that have helped us throughout the years as we're building our organization. So who we serve youth that is their English is their second or the third English language learner from more than 15 countries and range of age from kindergarten to college students. And as you can see, these are the students that where we serve from. And we serve high school students. So basically we serving K to 12th grade or like freshmen in college. And it's just different in terms of like when we serve them, since we are a small team. We are not able to serve everyone at the same time, so we kind of split in between like the semester. So in the fall semester, we're serving the um, middle and middle and high school, and then in the spring, we're kind of serving more middle school, and then in the summer, we're serving the elementary kid to fifth grader. So we kind of split our programming that way, and just based on the school, our fiscal year, like the school fiscal year. So high schooler, we provide programming for Youth Navigator Leadership Program, after school program, one-on-one coaching, and newcomer program. So newcomer program is just new this year. The newcomer program happens because the school came to us and they see that there was a lot of enrollment of newcomer from different countries that barely speak English, and teacher needed more supports in the classroom. So the school come to us and ask how RIYO can support these students. And so we were able to come in um, this year to help. It's during in school and to help like newcomer get to know each other, their classmates, doing activities where they're learning new words. Um, Most of them probably don't know that they're learning because it's probably feel more like a playtime or, like just being with their friends. But our activity is really intentional to their learning. So they're improving their verbal skills, speaking skills, and also interacting with their friends and making friends in that program. And then middle school, we also do after school program, a newcomer program. For K to fifth, we are doing the Summer Kids Club that is starting this coming June. And we also have 85 parents, and we also have reached 85 um, parents and future teachers with direct service and education on like what we do, or um, yeah, what we do with the ELS students in Waterloo School. So learning objective 2, how am I doing on time? Consider how your school could partner with community-based organizations like RIYO to improve support for ELS students. So a lot of the programming happened because the teacher have reached out to us, the counselor have reached out to us and sharing that there's a needs for program like RIYO to come into school and support these students. And so it's really important role to be in if you're a teacher of, English language learner or a counselor, um, to be able to find resources for your students so that they can be successful in your classroom, but also as an individual in our society. Um, so just a lot of the needs is asked from the teacher. So being in your positions, I think all of you will become a teacher, as you're going to your career field, just keep in mind of how you can further support your students in the classroom or outside of the classroom. You may not be able to do everything yourself, but you can reach out to organizations like RIYO to come in and help with that, because we do have networks. If we're not able to provide the needs right away, we do have network that we can connect to with other professions, and we can bring the resources. So yeah, we're really collaborative and we work really closely with the ELO teacher here in Waterloo. So yeah. So like I shared earlier, RIYO is like the base organization, but we do have a lot of partnership that bring in their expertise to help us build the curriculum to be able to help these kids. So you can think of RIYO as like a space where people can come together, everybody bring their strength or um, their expertise and then share it with the team of RIYO, and then we then bring it to the students that is in need for these type of programming. So ISU Extension AmeriCorps is one of our partners, and that's where we get our AmeriCorps member. So we apply to get AmeriCorps member with them, and we are able to hired in like AmeriCorps members. So AmeriCorps member is paid with stipend, and they get education award once they're done with their contract. Um, but yeah, and what else? Our AmeriCorps member are mostly college students, so they're more like peer to peer. They're kind of like same age as our high school students, you know, like closer to age, so they can lead as a role model. Um, Students are more comfortable talking to someone closer to their age about whatever they're going through. So we have our coaching program that our college students are leading as well. And Barger Middle School, so we have ELA teacher over there that is really passionate about, you know, helping their kids. Sorry, what I meant their kids is their students. Um, their classroom, feel more comfortable and make friends, especially the newer comer students. So uh, we partner with the school, the teacher there, and then yeah, she gave us like a time and stuff like that where we can come in to do the programming. We are also partnering with UNI art departments. Students love art departments because they get to do a lot of hands-on activities, painting, and Irving Elementary is for our K to fifth. So during summer program, we do have to rent out our school facility to be able to do that. So we contract with the school. So a lot of these partners are school based partnership. And then one small partnership that we have is with Hartman Reserve as well. A lot of the students that we have doesn't really hasn't really able to experience, you know, life outside of school and home. So when we have the partnership with Hartman Reserve Center, they're able to be outdoor, they're able to see like what's really out there, and you know, get more exploration um, in Waterloo area, in a Waterloo City Flood area, so they can bring their own family once, you know, they enjoy their experience. So these are more of a partnership. UNIT Cell Departments is one of our main um, partners when we do the after school program, and they have been you guys have been amazing partners with us and bringing in volunteers and teaching the students. Kids really love it. And then we also have UNI literacy departments. Um, we have like workshop for them, learning words, learning new words. We also partner with Northeast Iowa Food Bank. So they have provided us with like snack food for the kids so that um, we can focusing on like building more curriculum and, you know, fun for the kids. The United Food Bank has also helped us with providing lunch for our kids club. So that has been a major um, um, needs and help from us. And like because of our budget and we have a lot of restricted grants and stuff like that, so we're not able to just purchase anything that we want. But the different partnership can bring their own like strength to our program. And Waterloo Community Foundation is also one of our main partner when we first started. They're our fiscal sponsor before we got the 501c3. So they have been really helpful in terms of helping us build up our capacity. So yeah, so we love to have our volunteer and we love to share like the work that they're doing with RIYO. So this just last semester we have about 24 volunteers that have put in about 65 hours of volunteer hours that support the after school program last semester. So they're really grateful since we're not able to do everything ourselves. Volunteer has been a lot of help for these students. Objective 3 is exploring a way to empower youth to lead welcoming initiative and increase belonging through peer-to-peer support. Like I shared earlier, how do you want to give opportunity to your student, like leadership opportunity to your students in your classroom? So this could be one that you can think of when you have a newcomer student and you have a students in the classroom that really showcase leadership skills. How do you pair these two students so that they can um, be successful together? So peer-to-peer support really helps students get through a lot of tough time. We have volunteer engagements that have consistently come to our programming that have helped students navigate, the systems, and especially for our older students, so the high school students. And so a lot of high school students, like closest to their graduation dates, they're having a lot of missing assignments, which kind of hold them back. And so a lot of our volunteer or our coach have worked with them one-on-one to kind of work them through their goals. And that looks like, oh, they're not able to comfortably talk to their teacher. And so how do we help them, like write maybe we can write an email together, or maybe we can walk down to the classroom together so that we can talk to your teacher together, because a lot of these students are really insecure about their English skills, and that have held them back from a lot of things that they wanted to participate in, or being able to successfully complete their assignment. So those are like the simple thing that we can help students with. A lot of them put their goals as, I wanted to graduate high school with 3.0 GPA, and I want to apply for different university or college. So that could be their goal, and then the coach or the volunteer would just help them uh, write out their SMART goal and just take actions week by week to get through that goal. So that is a lot of dedication, commitment to peer-to-peer support, classroom leadership. So um, a lot of the time we share with the teacher of like, since there was like a newcomer, there was a huge newcomer enrollment last year. So we're share with students, we have a youth navigator in a classroom that could really help the newcomer students be really feel like a sense of belonging. So how do you match those students together? And in turns, you're giving a leadership position opportunity to that student, as well as you're giving support to the newcomer students. So basically it's a win-win situation, and the teacher also have like a support for the newcomer students. So that is something we're exploring this year. And other ideas is just reading buddies. I'm not sure like if you guys have reading buddies in your high school or elementary or middle school years, but we used to have, when I go to school, we used to have kindergarten buddies, reading buddies, and we would just go down and read together with them. So that's kind of like the idea of like, how do we support newcomer students? Um, we always need summer volunteers, as we have about 50 kids enroll every summer, and then finding opportunity for scholarship. So a lot of students, um, especially our older students, are looking for, job opportunity, and um, just because they wanted to support their family with bills and stuff like that. So a lot of the students that we serve, their priorities is not to graduate high school. A lot of the priorities are, how do I support my family so that we are not in a space where, we are behind on our bills and stuff like that. So for our navigator program, we are able to fundraise for their stipend, or um, yeah. So we want to do that for every student in our program. Unfortunately, we do not have the capacity. We do not have enough donors to do that. But we do have fundraising money for. We do fundraise for our Youth Navigator program. And if you guys have any other ideas of peer-to-peer support that you are thinking of right now, or you might implement in your classroom in the future, please feel free to drop them in the chat so that I can see like what other ideas you guys might have. Maybe we can implement that in our own program as well. So feel free to do that. So our peer-to-peer support is with the Youth Navigator Leadership Fellowship Program. It is a 7-month long leadership program. So during spring semester throughout until the end of August. So they're with us for 2 semester. No, yeah, 1 semester and then the summer break. So during the academic year, they're in their group and they're learning about leadership, um, and they're having like training, leadership training. They're getting what do you call it? Um, they're planning for the summer project. So during academic year, they're really busy working on the planning, getting all the training, so that in the summer they would be in the leadership role to support the K to fifth grader in our summer kids club. So they're in a leadership role during summers, and then they're taking what they learned, what they planned during the academic year to implement that during summer kids club. And since there's 10 Youth Navigator, we have been really fortunate that they have helped us with the implements of uh, the activities or curriculum, and they're also taking lead in a lot of the activities that they plan through academic year. So they have during the academic year, you're seeing they're just learning, they're really shy. But as you know, you see them in the leadership role in the summer, and towards the end of the summer, you see them grow a lot in their self-confidence, in their speaking, their writing. So they're helping the younger students, but also helping themselves being in that role. And they do a lot of community like project. One here is what I wish my teacher knew project that they shared with the future teacher or future educator about their perspective being ELO students and what it's like to come to a new school, new country, and having to rebuild their life in a new environment. And another project that they did was the supporting um, the middle school project last semester. And Summer Kids Club, which I talked about earlier. And I know Stella has been really great with reaching out to different community organizations to make sure our kids or our students have the opportunity to learn about different organizations, especially that helps people in the community. So we volunteer with Northeast Iowa Food Bank. So a lot of our students aren't aware of this yet when they first started. When we take them to there, they learn about what the organization is about, what the program is provided to the community, and they're able to go back to their home, their community, and they're like, hey, if you don't have enough food, you can apply for, community food bank where you can get, more food if you don't have enough food for the month. So that has been really like one of our success with the community engagement. Huh. And these are just picture. And we also have coaching 101. I talked about it earlier, but you can read the quote here. Basically, it's just 101 peer coaching. We are prioritizing the junior, senior level of high school so that we can help them reach their academic goal, their career goal, um, and their education goal. So some of them they have different goals. So some of them are like, I want to apply for a job. How can I get it? So we help them build resume. Some of them are like, I want to go to school, continue my education. So we help them find like FastFi workshop. It's a lot to navigate. So the coach has been like helpful in terms of like building up their small goal and like be accountable for their goal. And so students are more and more aware of our program, I guess. Um, and this year we have about 22 students that are enrolled in our coaching students. So we grew from 6 last year to 22 this year. So I'm not sure how we're going to keep up with the enrollments starting next year for the coaching program because students have been really supported and they feel heard when they meet with one-on-one of our coach. And these are just a statistic we collect from this feedback from our students. I know we got 5 minutes left. Um, is there any questions? Maybe we can start with that.